Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the devs again. In the devs, we're speaking on co-op mode, new maps, and multiplayer changes. So I also have a lot of dev videos on my channel, so if you would like to see more info and more dev responses and posts, there are various videos that you can find on my channel if you would like. Also, the link to the official forums from Bannerlord will be down below, and that's where most of these responses and posts come from. So if you guys want to go check it out yourself, you're free to do so. And before the video starts, I have a script. It's going to be on the screen right now. It's also going to be down in the description. Almost everything I say and all links that I state will be down there for you to check out after or whenever you want, right? So let's get right into it. So first, we have a dev responding to a couple of players who are discussing the possibility of a co-op mode in Bannerlord. One player thinks it would be possible but hard to implement. Another player thinks that there would be way too much pausing to be worth playing. So the devs responded and asked the players how they would envision a two-player co-op mode working. The main concern for the devs is there would indeed be way too much pauses that both players would have to go through when anything on the map is done, since the game pauses when something is done by the player on the map, such as battles, entering towns, menus, and all other features. Now, the devs also state if pausing was removed, the game would have to be changed completely. A 10-minute fight between one player and the AI will leave the rest of the world and the other player that's, in co-op to do anything in that time, and a lot of stuff can change. Also, if the game was turn-based or 100% real-time, it might work, but the game style currently does not support 2 or more player co-op. Devs also state that the only co-op that would make sense is same party co-op, but that would make the second player play a lower role in the game. While some players might enjoy that, it seems boring to the devs. Now here's my take. I personally like Mount & Blade games as a single player game. Yes, I understand it has a multiplayer components, but if we're just talking about, building up an army, building up your character, eventually getting towns and stuff of that nature, I liked that part to be single player, right? The multiplayer action is cool, but I like the game as a single player game, if that kind of makes sense. And while I do like games where I can play with friends or online, right? There's a lot of them at this point, and I think we do need some solid single player games. While the same party co-op might be a cool feature, I don't know if it's completely necessary, but it might be a cool thing to work on after other changes and fixes are done, right? It shouldn't kind of be worked on right now. I don't think it's a huge priority. With that being said, I'm not opposed or against the idea. If the devs decide to do it, I'm all for it, right? I'm not completely opposed to it. I would like to check it out and see how it plays as well. But I do currently like the single player Bannerlord. Second, we have a player being upset about the devs that the devs decided to be sarcastic when replying to a troll thread. I covered the original response in yesterday's video, but basically someone made a video about goblin racism and posted it on the forums as an issue, obviously as a joke. The devs then responded saying that they will permaban all the offenders, obviously being sarcastic and playing with the joke, right? So the player states that there is actual racism in the game's multiplayer that has been posted on the forum, and that the devs should reply to one of those threads instead of this one, which was obviously a joke. The devs reply and say that they discourage public reports / complaints, and if there was a real problem in the game, pretty much contact them directly and they will make sure to deal with the problem. Also state that the in-game player reporting system will soon be in the game to make it a lot easier to report problematic users. Personally, I think the devs can't catch a break. When they're serious all the time, they get ignored. When they try to make one joke, they get called out for it. So I don't know what to say. I think the joke was fine. I think it's good for the devs to have some sense of humor, not just be serious all the time with all the changes and all that stuff. Just, sometimes to relax, make a little joke here and there. I don't think it's a big deal. But I do understand the player's perspective that there probably is, since there's not a really big reporting tool right now in the game, I'm pretty sure people are being excessively either toxic or racist. That could happen. I don't play multiplayer a lot, so I don't know the exact situation. But I do agree that it is possibly happening, right? But at the same time, I do agree with the devs that the report should be made privately. I don't think a public witch hunt is good, like ever, in my opinion. You look at history, you look at stuff that's going on now. I think if it's serious, if I think it's a problem, I think you should go to the developers, write them a message, show them a screenshot, and I promise you they will probably work with you and get it fixed as soon as possible. But I don't think a public witch hunt is good. Third, we have a player making a thread. Asking the devs if any new maps will be added to the multiplayer pool. Another player then added if players can have a map editor to make their own maps. So the community support admin answered that the devs are working hard on modding tools, which will probably include a map editor, but he cannot give an ETA when this will be ready. Also for maps, they are coming soon. Like I said before, I don't play multiplayer much, but I know it has a fan base behind it, and I'm excited to see what the new maps look like. They are probably coming with a new beta, the 1.4.3 that the devs stated is being released very soon. Probably, I'd say before the month ends, probably next week. We'll see, but that is my calculations, based on not a lot of facts, but kind of like how the devs have been acting and some of the replies they've made. It makes it sound that way, right? And in terms of the modding tools that was mentioned, I know a lot of people want this feature, and I hope that they can finish it as soon as possible, because it would take a lot of stress out of the developers' hands, pretty much. So once those tools come out, modders will start making more content, and in turn give the developers some more time to work on updates. And people aren't going to be in the forums, doing the whole "are we there yet? Are we there yet?" thing that they're doing right now, which is pretty much, "Hey, is the update done? Is the update done?" And they're kind of bombarding the devs with that, and it's kind of, I can see it becoming overwhelming, right? But once modding tools do come out, bigger mods start coming out as well, and like content in that way, I think that's going to give the devs, more time and more peace to make better changes and take their time on changes, right? And generally, I think it's going to make a lot of players happy as well. So I can't wait for those to come out. Now, fourth, we have a thread being made about a throwing weapon problem in multiplayer, where throwing weapons themselves do way too much damage, and also classes that are already too strong having throwing weapons as well, which in turn makes them overpowered. There are a lot of dev statements on this thread and another similar thread, and I'm pretty much thinking of making a separate video speaking on everything that is being said. So I pretty much chose two responses that are pretty significant to show you guys in this video. So first we have is dev stating that shock troops are getting a slight increase in speed, and some heavy infantry are going to get slightly slower. Also, crush through for heavy weapons will finally be completed. And if I'm not mistaken, I think crush through is pretty much means that some heavy weapons will have a chance to attack through a block, right? Kind of crush through the shield, or if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? Now, throwing weapons will also be lowered for classes, which is a direct nerf, and I think one that community will like. The devs state also that these three things should help the shock troop, so it looks like the shock troop is very underwhelming right now. Let me know what you guys think of that. If you guys play multiplayer, like I said, I don't play that much multiplayer. Now, the second reply, the devs state heavy infantry can't catch archers right away, but if they do chase consistently, they will eventually catch up, so kiting shouldn't happen. Pretty much a player made a statement saying, hey, archers are very overpowered when it comes to dealing with heavy infantry. They can kite very easy, and this was pretty much their response, that kiting should not happen if they continue to chase. Also states that there are other infantry classes that can catch archers easily, and heavy infantry should not counter everything, which I kind of agree on. There should be solid counters, and there also should be some unfair matchups when it comes to different classes. When classes play a big role in a multiplayer game, you need some classes to counter, and you need some, that's kind of like it kind of balances out, if it kind of makes sense, but I don't know the best way to explain it, but I agree with the developers are saying here, right? So, yeah, but I think the changes that the devs have stated that are coming soon are good changes, and it looks like they're listening to the overall community, so I'm happy to see that. And that's pretty much all the statements that we have for today. If anything new comes up, I will make a video. You guys know that, and I'm going to keep you guys informed. And lastly, I'm going to end this video the same way I end all my dev talk and update videos. I want to thank the developers for staying active and bringing good changes. Some people can be impatient, very negative on the forums, but hopefully the devs stay strong and they get through it, and you know, a good game is made at the end, because I'm patient. I know a huge group of people want this game to succeed. Even some of the people who are negative, they probably deep down want this game to succeed. So, you know, hopefully everything goes good. I see that they actually want to work on the game, so, you know, very happy for it. We'll see how it goes. And also, as an early access game, if you are playing in the beta, do not expect the gameplay to be stable. It is a beta branch meant for playtesting and reporting. I try to state this in every video. If you are on the Steam auto update, if your game is pretty much on auto update on Steam, you're playing on the beta, and it's kind of unstable, and it's prone to change. And if you're playing with mods, they're prone to break. So if you do want to play in a stable environment on a past patch, I play on 1.3, which is a couple patches behind, and it's great for me. So if you do want to learn how to revert to a stable patch, I have a video, and it's going to be linked down below. You can go check it out if you do want to change back. But hopefully this was informative. Ask me any questions, and like always, stay safe.